Hey, how y'all doing out there today? Listen, I want to talk to y'all about this very serious subject matter that's going on across the globe, but it's America is the worst country for it. And it's all these people on all these different medications and talking to all these people on how to guide their life and what to do with their life. And everybody's, that's not like a bragging rights. That's not to say, hey, that person's taking they're down and out, but hey, they're taking meds and they're going to therapy. They're okay. No, if they're actively doing that, then they are seeking to be okay, and that is one way to do it. But if they're playing around with it here or there, or they're not talking to somebody on a regular basis or somebody they trust, and they're not telling the whole story, they're just telling it like their side of their bad life and getting something off their chest, and none of that works. Yet we do it in this country more than anywhere else or any time period in history. We have the most poorest sad sacks walking around here with the most pitiful lives because none of y'all were really taught how to live. That's the whole problem. You were told this society was the way to go and you were told this, but no matter. There's people out there that just actually have traumatic things that happen in their life. A person dying in their family, anything, losing their home, anything can happen, losing an infant baby right at birth. The thing is, those are bad, ugly things, but it's also a part of life. Somehow we have lost it to where a doctor can tell you you have depression and they can put you on medication that can alter the course of your entire life. This medication could actually cause you to be worse and even states that it will cause you to be worse, maybe to even be suicidal or to hurt other people. Now, in saying that, hey, a blind squirrel will find a nut every once in a while. So maybe it is cool to talk to a stranger, even if you got to pay them. And maybe some people do have an actual chemical imbalance. But we're being thrown these drugs like candy, y'all. People are walking around supposedly shooting up schools, stabbing people, going crazy. The cops are killing them. We're killing them. They're killing us. What happened to me just a while back? And this is why I'm upset about it. I was actually condemned because I don't take psychotropic meds. I was actually just condemned because I don't go see a therapist because I have problems. Well, yeah, my mom left me in the woods when I was 3 to 5 years old. I've had all kind of things just like y'all happen in my life. Man, whoo, it was bad. It hurt. You know what? I picked up my goddamn feet and I started walking again. I did go through a 10-year period where I took pain meds and Xanax. And let me tell you something, that did not work. And they both turned out to be worse crutches than the problem I had to begin with. The reason I don't take any meds is because most people on meds still have rage outbursts, right? Even the people that sit here condemning me for not taking meds, they still have psychotic episodes. They still have problems. They're on meds, right? They're getting therapy. But if a person that has less rages and has like a fit here or there or hollers like, hey, why don't you pick up your trash, or hey, why am I having to do your job, or hey, why aren't you living your life and not and sitting in a chair bitching at a TV, you holler at somebody like we used to do that. Like I was talking about the other day, you watch those shows like Emergency. We used to kind of pop people too, but you can't do that no more because of this. It's this mentality, y'all. This is something that has been sold to you, and you have been sold snake oil, but you have not only been sold snake oil, you could possibly kill yourself or other people. And this ain't no fucking joke. I'm not taking my situation. I can come up with literally hundreds of thousands since they've been over prescribing antidepressants such as Paxil, things like Seroquel, other things like Xanax, where people be on these drugs for maybe a year or two, and then they realize that the drugs are bad. And this is where I hear from many of you, and I bet many can sit right here and say, hey, I tried, and you're right, Bill, I had to get off of them. But see, that's the whole other scam on it. You can't just get off of them. They wanted to keep customers for a little while. They wanted to know how to look at their next quarter's portfolio and make sure they was going to have plenty of money. So they got you on stuff that might take you 2, 3, 6 months, maybe even a year to get out of your system. And the whole time, something natural in life just happened. Somebody died. Something bad happened. Murphy's Law. And because it felt bad and they said, and you think something's going to, we always think something's going to make us feel better, y'all. You know what my grandma used to tell me every time I get hurt? Because I know the only thing that's gonna make me feel better. She used to say, she go, son, it'll feel better when it quits hurting. I'm not over the death of my sister. That was 10 years ago. But the 11 months of their medication, of taking their Seroquel, I didn't ever took it. I never knew what Seroquel really was. I just knew that it helped me sleep and not think for a while. But I never knew that they were going to try to give it to me for the rest of my fucking life. It was all over the fact my sister died. See, or a job went bad, or lose some toes, man. You can get depressed about many things. There is no problem with that. Now listen, this thing about therapists before somebody gets me wrong. I never said talking to somebody ever is a bad thing. In fact, I promote people talking to each other. I promote people, man, not only talking to each other, but like hugging and feeling each other's energy and getting real with each other. But here's the thing. When you're paying somebody, what are they doing? They're doing a job. Okay. And I don't care if it's a veterinarian. You can have a veterinarian. They love animals. They won't take care of animals since they was a little kid. But he gets a job and he sees 100 dogs a day or 100 dogs a week. Come on, man. It's kind of like a man. You think a good job for a man, a gynecologist, but when you see it all the time, I'm just joking. Well, these people that are therapists, man, one day they might have a problem, or the 6 people before you really fuck their day up, and they may not. They may, in other words, ain't there more strangers out there? People maybe in your own shoes. Even a little bit, we have all have used social media to talk in PMs to each other, and we kind of get a little comfy sometimes. We don't know that person, and we're able to release some things. But here's the thing I want to talk to y'all about, or get across to you about a therapist, or even you talking in the mirror. If you're not telling the truth, if you're lying to yourself, I can talk till you're blue in the face, and it ain't gonna make a rat's ass bit of difference, y'all. You got to get real with yourself. So I'll tell you something I got real with a long time ago. Shit pisses me off, and I want to holler about it. I found a release through YouTube about 10 years ago, and it's pretty much worked for me. But guess what? People can come up with really dumb ideas, or people cannot look after your best interest and you get mad at them, or they can do something. You've done all kind of things for them, and then when you ask for something, they get all lazy and it's just something free or something just to go look for something, and they won't even do it. And you sit there and you say, fuck you, you're a damn piece of shit. Then all of a sudden, you're violent, you need medication. What? Wait a minute. There's this thing called consistent behavior. It would happen to be in your arrest record. It would happen to be in the way you were, I guess, your permanent record. I tell you what, it's about your family know what kind of person you are. And everybody in my family knows that I'll pop off at the mouth in a minute. I'll be judgmental. When I'm mad and I'm hurt, I will try to rip your soul out, but not physically. Not physically. I got nephews that I've had lesser scraps with, and we were really arguing. So what the fuck ever. I believe in consistent behavior, and I am talking about this now in a sense that I do feel like my own character is being having aspersions cast upon my character right now because of the fact that I don't take medication. But for what? What do I need medication for? It almost killed me. And I think I'm a pretty good brother, and I think very clearly without meds. And if you knew, I mean, I don't know how to put it. People don't go around diagnosing other people. That's why so many other people are walking into these doctors' offices and taking these damn things. Because let me tell you something about a sad sack, y'all. You get somebody that's a sad sack, and some bad event happened, and 20 years later they still ain't over it, so they're just going to be a sad sack the rest of their life, and that's fine. But to justify, it's kind of like people that believe in their religion so much, but they can't prove it. They got to justify their pills, so they tell you how great that shit works for them. I hope you people that say how great your meds work for you also talk about how you feel plastic, how you feel hollow, how you see things, how you hear things still, how sometimes you still get depressed, how sometimes you still want to kill yourself, how sometimes you still think about what happened to get you on the pills. So when you're telling them how great they are, you're just, misery loves company, y'all, and they'll sad sack you to death. And they'll have you believing, oh man, these pills and this girl over here, this guy over here I talk to, man, everything's great. Sometimes we don't ever get over something. I don't think I'll ever get over the death of my sister. I miss her, and I don't feel like it was fair, but what was I going to do? Was I going to sit in that room that I was at on Buena Vista Road in Columbus, Georgia, and just live there forever and watch this dying pot plant that me and her planted together? I'll tell you what I did. I almost did it too, y'all. If I hadn't went to Australia and tightened up and put my big boy britches on and knew that I had a problem, and no matter what, the problem was consuming my life. Remember step one from NA, because it's the only step you should ever need in your life. Knowing something is a problem and you got to get it out of your life. I knew I had to get it out of my life. And luckily, a little bit of money fell in my lap, but it was a little bit of money. I was able to get away. You got to get away, no matter what, because we're talking about your life or somebody else's life. If you're that depressed, then you should be in a clinic or you should be in some depression farm where they can fix you up. You shouldn't be walking around in society, and I'm sorry to say this, on the type of meds that they're giving you. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to walk around society depressed. I don't think you should be able to walk around society on depression medication. It does cause sleepiness. It does cause these wild, crazy ass thoughts. They admit this. You can't take that kind of medication and go to work if it was hydrocodone or pain medicine or something, could you? So you see what I'm saying? If there was a street drug, how about this? If there was a street drug that people wanted to get high off of and it gave the same effect as Paxil, because I know people that have sold their Paxil and they sell their Klonopin and they sell their Xanax. If there was a street drug like cocaine or heroin, you would have laws against that. You wouldn't want that. You'd be piss testing for that. So we got to think about this in the same way, because I have so much empathy for people that suffer. I suffer, y'all. Why do you think I love you and talk to you? Because if I don't love anymore, all I'll do is hate. That's the cure. You want to know the cure from Bill Bunting? There's your damn cure. Let the emotions be there. Let them come out. But you don't put your hands on nobody else no matter what. Look, y'all, life and conversations can be just as ugly as we want them to be, or they can be just as beautiful. Some people, you know that they have triggers. You know that you can't talk to them about certain things. We know this around all of us, our work people, especially now in our closer relationships. Because when we do, that's why people like to talk to strangers, because it seems like when we talk to our friends or our loved ones and we tell them our deep, dark stuff, they use it against us later. And that hurts, right? So that's why it is cool to talk to a stranger. I'm just trying to say that some of these people that volunteer their help, or some people, especially the ones that get paid to do it, they're going to get worn out, and they're human beings just like you. So maybe find a brother or sister out there to talk to, or if there is a possibility, a long line, or I don't know, it's just some reason you're held up and you got other people around you, and somebody maybe breaks in a conversation with you, just try to have a conversation back and not bring out all your problems like, hey, how you doing? Oh man, my cat got ran over right in front of me 10 years ago and I can't get over it. No, but just learn to start talking again to each other. Because the one thing they don't want us to do is to talk to each other, because we are our own solution to our own problems. We are our own cure to our own social issues. We are the sunshine in depressed people. We are the answer to each other just through talking and communicating. We can't use the mouth. They got the pineal gland covered up, so we got to use the mouth actually. But those of us that can sense each other, we're called empaths, and we hate our lives. We or not hate our lives, but it sucks that a part of our life, like the people I know very close to me, when you can feel everybody and everything around you, and then you can't explain it to somebody, that's also a reason why many of you are given depression meds, because you feel bad. It's just because you feel other people. So let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. That's a great responsibility. So maybe you don't need it. Maybe you ain't man or woman enough for it. Maybe you're not human enough for it. But if you're an empath and you can feel the pain of this planet and you can feel the pain of your brother and sister, then you best start feeling that pain, because not feeling it is why they're going to die and why you're going to feel them die. Because I can feel everybody die. I can feel them when they leave. So whatever. What fucking ever. Use your gifts. Be who you are. Quit medicating it away. Quit talking it away to whatever, man. Somebody is going to guide you in a professional way in a society, in a civilization that has failed us. Using medication that has failed us miserably. The medication alone should be taken up in front of the Supreme Court if you want to use some kind of public forum to show that it's bad, like for everybody in this country. And fluoridic-based depression meds are completely highly overly prescribed. Meds to make you feel nothing are highly overprescribed. And teaching people to that there's a proper time to heal and a proper time to grieve, but there's also a place where you're going to come to that you got to pull yourself up out of your mud puddle and wash off and get back with living. And that's why I ask y'all to live free and die living, because you're going to die miserable like some of these people, y'all. You won't even know when you died because you'd be so goddamn doped up. You ever stop and think about that? Won't even enjoy the one thing you're guaranteed in life is your passing. You'll be doped up. Your spirit will be doped up. No, whatever, man. Whatever. I love y'all, man. I wish I wasn't even talking about this. This shouldn't even be an issue in my life and in your life or anybody's life. This shouldn't be anything that was allowed to be given to us. I mean, basically, it comes from just corporate greed where they didn't know what to do with the toxic byproduct of aluminum back in the 40s and 50s. They couldn't bury it all, so they put it in the water and made it medicine to keep you an idiot. If you want to be an idiot, that's fine. And be a blissful one. I think blissful idiots are great. I wish I was one. But no, I got to feel things. I decided to stay alive, and I love it, but it hurts. And it hurts you, so I'm telling you, I know that it hurts. And I know that it's real in your life. So quit, like I've told other earth people, quit hiding your gifts, quit hiding your natural abilities, quit hiding who you are. They're the weirdos, not us. So what the fuck ever on that one too? How about that? There you go. You want some reality? The people that feel other people are the humans. The rest of y'all, I don't know if you're just suits without souls, or if you're just really that burn out like some cyborg, half aluminum and half plastic and whatever you are. Because it's insane that we go on like this, that we take failed medicine, failed science, failed ideology, and we just keep over and cycle and over and over and just like take it like they're holding you down and shoving it down your throat, taking it. You don't have to take that stuff. There's plenty of things around that you can find ways around your issue without going to that. And listen, that's what I'm going to end it with this. For the few people out there that actually does help or helped you get through a time period, or maybe your time period and your grieving period is yours, and I agree with that, and you're going to deal with this, or you just want to do them meds, that's fine for you. But the many of you have been misprescribed and overprescribed medications that will kill you and other people, and that's just the way it is. Go look at the news. Go look it up. So there you go. I love y'all. I just want you to think about this. I got a big thing coming up. Y'all know with this homeless information portal and the project going with it, the filming of it. You know, I feel like a lot of these people out here that are homeless or were on these meds as well, and some of them may have just had their brains burn out from some of this shit because they overprescribe it. I mean, man, come on. There was never meant to be a pill for everything, and sometimes you just had to have a rash, and sometimes you just needed a cold to get better and stronger. Now, they don't kill you. Why you think they come up with that old saying, if it don't kill you, it make you stronger? The only thing that won't make you stronger is man-made chems and man-made psychoholic slag. Like that's what it is. A bunch of psychoholic slags for people that want more problems than there are in the world or even with themselves. Some of y'all are mental hypochondriacs and need to drink some concrete and harden the fuck up. Sorry, but that's the way it is. And that ain't being apathetic. That's being empathetic and feeling your fakeness that goes along with your excuses of why you can't live. Think about that. I love you. Don't live in fear.